Doorcasts. I salute you, co-pioneers of the digital audio music revolution and evolution. I want to demonstrate how I use AI-assisted plugins, of which there are quite a few nowadays, to mix. I just recently mixed this song called Adore, and the first thing I want to look at is the drum groove, which is just a stereo loop. And the first thing I noticed when I played it is I thought it sounded a little harsh around the hi-hats. So let me solo that and let me just mute what I did. Bypass all of them. Here we go. So it's very upfront, the hi-hat. So the first thing I did is I opened this AI plugin, Galfos, and I used the mixing version of it. There's a mastering version with a super high latency. This one here is specifically made for mixing. So I excluded all the lower frequencies, and this is pretty heavy-handed. Let me bypass again and shut up. So I have this set to tame. In fact, I had it much more heavy-handed. I had it up here before. I tamed it down in the final mix a little bit. Again. So it tames it a little bit. It's subtle, even though it looks like it's quite a lot here, but if you look at it, it's really less than 3 dB. That still wasn't enough for me, so I opened Soothe, another AI-powered plugin. And I also again zoned in here on the high frequencies to get rid of... Soothe is for getting rid of resonances. This used to also be a little more heavy-handed. I think I had it around here. I have it at 91% mix. I'm not going to announce when I bypass, just follow the screen. And then I added some low frequencies because I thought it was missing that. So it gives a little warmth, right? This actually synthesizes subharmonics. Moving on to the bass. Let me actually enable the whole rhythm section here. So the next AI-assisted plugin is Smart Comp. Also here you want to actually have it analyze the audio first. So let's remember what I did. I brought it to minus 2.5. So you let it analyze. You have a few additional options here to add some grit and harmonics. Yeah, close. And you can give it a profile here. I'm a big fan of this company, Sonible, and their plugins, and I use them quite a bit. This is a spectral compressor. I have the spectral compression turned on. You can turn that off and make it a more regular compressor. You have a lot more options and things to adjust under the hood. And here you can actually make it quite gritty. Add some harmonics. I forgot where I had it. And then here you can also color a little bit. If you want high frequency to be favored, a little more brighter sonic profile. It's subtle, as you can see. I did that to even out the bass a little bit, to compress it. I also used CLA bass, but only for the growl. I didn't like the other stuff. The other stuff was too heavy-handed. This is not AI assisted. And then I have, again, Soothe. This time I have it focused. This, by the way, it doesn't work like an EQ. When you bring this up, it doesn't boost it. It does the exact opposite. It focuses in on suppressing the resonances on those frequencies that you select here. So if I bring this up, it'll actually cut more. You know, just a little bit for those resonances because it wasn't so cleanly recorded. And then I, excluded all the high stuff because that's, first off, there isn't anything there really. Secondly, that wasn't my purpose for this plugin. I found the bass to have a lot of low frequency continuously. So this wasn't an issue I wanted to address with Soothe or with an EQ. So I added a pattern gate. This is like a little trick that I sometimes do. If you're honing in on the bass soloed, See, without, there's like a lot of mud continuously. Now the mud is part of the bass, but I wanted it to be a little more eighth notey, so I gave it a little. You can hear it soloed. In the context, it just sounds cleaner. If I gave it 100%, hold on. So it's basically like a gate or side chaining. Here's another AI assisted plugin from Sonable, Smart EQ3, another one of my favorites. So that I used for the acoustic guitars, and let's hear what that's doing. So we're hearing the whole song now. I'm going to bypass this on and off so you can hear how it sounds with and without. For those purposes, I apologize, I should actually mute the vocals and the whistle, just so we can really hone in on this. All right, here we go. So it's cutting some, I want to say, resonances. It's not quite like soothe. It also analyzes the signal, and you have more than one instance here, so I could reanalyze the signal here in a different section, even though it's all pretty much the same in this song. And here we see what it originally did. It really wanted to create a warm acoustic guitar. I don't want that in this pop context. It interferes way too much with the bass. And so it seems to always find the same sort of resonances or issues or overly pronounced frequencies. You know, no matter in what song section I analyze it, it's fairly similar. And you know, it boosts the high frequencies, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a little bit more air and shimmer for it to cut through without really interfering in the mids where the vocals lie. And so it did that. It did exactly what I wanted to achieve, which I would have done with a traditional EQ or a multi-band compressor like Digital Performer's built-in Masterworks EQ. Now I excluded the low frequency, as I mentioned, and then you can hear it similar to Soothe. If you bring it up, it just increases the processing, whether it's cutting or boosting. So, you know, my sweet spot was around here for this track. Smart EQ3 is really a helpful plugin. I really think it saves me 10-20 minutes per instantiation of this plugin. There's another feature this has that's really, really cool. You can create a group. You know, let's say, you know, let's just call it song for now. So I would put guitar on the second tier, and well, actually the second tier was here. And then if I had this on the vocal, I could add the vocal on the top tier. And so it would then use its algorithm, spectral or whatever it is, to EQ things, to bring things down even more when the vocal is in those same frequencies. It's still subtle sounding. It's not like a gating, sidechaining sort of thing. It's quite musical and subtle sounding, very, very helpful and time efficient. And it really gives you that last 3 to 5% of super fine tuning in a mix that I want to do for exactly that sort of thing. You know, taking things down a little bit, ducking them when the vocal is in. Used to do this more complicated with sidechained compression, you know, where we have a compressor which is sidechained from the vocal. I don't have to do that anymore. Did I have a Smart EQ on the vocals here? And then I could demonstrate it. Yeah, I do actually on the lead vocal. I can demonstrate this. I didn't actually do this on this mix, as you saw. Otherwise, it would have shown up in the list. I would have to join, on the lead vocal would have to join this same group. And now I could put the lead vocal on top. And so let's play it.
This heart is open, don't knock on the door. No, that's a stay out, isn't there for people like you who don't pose a threat to be people like me who seem to have met.
Next, we have Smart Comp also on the vocal. Let me play a few bars.
Isn't there for people like you who don't pose a threat? The people like me who seem to have met all the wrong people at all the right times.
Just brings it a little bit more forward. You know, I didn't go crazy here. Gain reduction of maybe 2 dB.
Isn't there for people like you
Let me go a little extreme.
who don't pose a threat? The people like me
Here we go.
who seem to have met all the wrong people at all the right times.
This is here the auto gain, by the way. There's another feature this plugin has, which is input writing. You can actually increase, similar to what Wave's vocal writer would do in similar plugins. I rarely use this. I get mixed results from this, and it's not always what I want to do either. You know, to to change the dynamics that much. Excuse me.
Bushes open and it's you. A door framed in blinding shades and hues. A door, just the intro to a score.
It's a little tucked in, the vocal in this mix, you know, without the input writing on.
That's far beyond the door.
But like I said, the mix is now not correct anymore after all
This
these
hand
changes.
caresses your beautiful hips. The other is holding yours as we kiss. As the director is holding his head.
Leave it on for now.
Because of the lines that we never said. But somehow it's perfect. Somehow it's right. Somehow those
else do we have?
words would have only been lines. The cameras keep rolling.
There's a little auto-tune, I'm embarrassed to say. This vocal doesn't really need it. He's an excellent singer, this guy. And I have it at a very, very slow sort of speed, 74. So it's just kind of what I call pitch compression. It's just a little bit to give it that little more modern sound. So I would normally tune it here, you know, if there's anything that really stands out. And so this I kind of use as an effect, but not as an audible effect.
Bushes open and it's you. A door framed.
Okay, that's it for the vocal. Autotune, of course, is not an AI assisted plugin. Well, we got Smart Reverb on the vocal bus. That's also an AI assisted plugin from Sonable. Let's see what I did here. I have additional aux reverbs. Here are the aux returns. A room to glue things a little together. I have 2 plates. These are also not AI plugins, but just to look really quick. I have a very long plate. Actually, they're both very long, 4.5 seconds. They just have a slight variation in the pre-delay. One is copper, one is radium. And then this one here to kind of give it a vibe on the whole vocal bus. So let's hear that really quick.
Isn't there for people like you who don't pose a threat? The people like me who seem to have met all the wrong people at all the right times to be protecting this heart of mine.
15% wet. Can you bring it up so you can just hear it?
Carrying through an anticipation.
Like the other plugins, this works by analyzing the vocal first. We'll go to B4 now and let's do it again. And then here you can kind of go between different sounds. The artificial is a little bit more like a plate, the natural more like a room. This is what I had dialed in.
Just the intro
Does the mix change? Yeah, the mix also changes.
of a love that's far beyond the door.
So this also takes resonances into account. I don't quite know what they do. These are algorithms that they keep very guarded and secret. So who knows? But this, and also there's an isotope plugin. Forgot what it's called. I started using those more and more. Right now, before I really start to master these plugins, because these plugins are really like instruments. You need to really figure them out and try them out. Right now, as I'm still getting to know them better, I'm kind of using them for just a little bit of vibe on the bus. I'm not there yet where I'm going to start to really use them as a main mixing plugin on an aux return, but I'm close. I'm getting there to figuring it out. They're very flexible because you kind of have different reverb flavors all in one plugin. Most reverb plugins have a certain type of model that they go for. These, the isotope and this one, smart reverb, they really give you the option between richness, kind of like a plate, a largeness like a hall, ambience type of sound. You can get that and you can kind of blend it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed the song. It is available now. Doorcast. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I am yours truly. Oh no, it didn't record? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it did record. Oh, thank God.